What's up, guys? We get going live in a minute. What's up, dude? Yo, Andy, can you hear me? Hello? Appreciate everyone coming in. We're going to get started momentarily, just getting some stuff up and running. Let's see where we are at right now. Can you unmute?
Yo, yo, yo.
You hear me?
What's up, boys?
What's
and
up?
girls?
I'm just getting the simulcast up and running. Appreciate everyone joining us on YouTube, everyone joining us on playback. Just give us a couple minutes here.
Where's Samuel at?
Are you unable to hear me?
Oh shit.
Turn on your volume, dude.
No, all right, we're good.
Cool. I'll turn on my camera in a minute. I'm like literally just getting the back end tech up and running. So, sometimes takes a second. And with that, I mean I made a mistake and have to fix it.
I'm looking at it, but I didn't want to say anything, so I'm gonna let you rock.
It's okay. We'll be good in like 30 seconds right now. What am I looking for right now? If you're watching on. I'm excited about this episode.
I don't see your moves, by the way, which is fine. Oh, I see. Okay, no, take it back.
I put them actually on a separate doc. I wanted to catch you off guard.
Yes.
I wanted to
Please. By the way, just 2 reads, easy tonight. Easy stuff. You got to do your prize picks, but game time and unified, so easy work today.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I'm going to leave YouTube real quick. Tell everyone, then come through.
Hey, too many chips. Fuck. God damn. We actually got 3 days of YouTube, 3 days of light years in a row. Wow.
We might be going live every day. Honestly, it really depends. At this, like, I'll tell everyone in a minute. By the way,
oh, there you go.
I am taking the whole screen. Andy is my minion. I am in charge.
Oh, look at that.
Now. I am fully. This is my show. No.
Look at I never noticed that your mic was pointed the other way. Interesting.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
I have it hanging down. It works better that way. Here we go. Let's get to.
Well, mine's always way. All right, we're good.
You know what? I need to. I bought a stand for my camera, and it didn't fit. It didn't fit quite frankly. And so I still am just kind of mounting it on top of my laptop, which is why you get the crappy angle every time. But it works, but I'm constantly like tinkering with trying to get the setup better. I feel like we got a clown setup. Not gonna lie.
For a podcast that's been doing it for a decade,
strong,
might be clown
billions of downloads. You don't understand the level of people who are aware of hating on us. Like I've been to 4 different continents and had people like, light years? Fuck you. It's a thing, man. I'm trying to hit all 7. Antarctica will be difficult. I don't speak Penguin, so
What are the 7 continents? I actually don't even know. Oh my god, it's been so long since high school.
Wow.
Okay, hold on. Let's
North
do
North America, South America, Europe,
okay,
Africa, Asia, Australia, Antarctica.
Australia and Antarctica. I might not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might not have gotten those 2. The other 5.
Well, what are you on number 10 right there?
Antarctica and what is it? Australia. Australia is a continent, huh? It's that big.
It's not in like it's not as big as Asia, if that's your point. It's not as big as Europe population wise, but technically it has continent classification. It's like the Eastern Conference of continents. Where you're like, you acknowledge it's like 2 cities and a lot of Charlotte Hornets, but
just 8 play-in teams. What is the smallest continent?
Geographically, it's Australia.
Okay, it's Australia.
I mean,
it is Australia by far. Okay, so I guess
to be fair, it's still big landmass wise,
right?
But it could be.
I see.
It could be bigger. All right, I'm gonna get us up and running.
Do you want to talk about the finals for a second, or we're getting right to the fun stuff?
Yeah, we'll get a little into it. I mean, come on, man. We're about to get on the we're about to get on the trade machine. My favorite part of the trade machine is like you think you come up with something genius and someone will just hit you like, what the fuck is this crap? You get never be. It's like, okay, relax. Anyway.
I'm excited. Hold on, let me tweet this.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Trade machine Tuesdays.
Bro, we're about to be living on the trade machine for the next God knows how long.
Let's go. I'm ready.
If you are watching on YouTube, we are live on playback. If you want to participate, we'll be taking live callers. Click over to the playback chat. Also, if you're watching after the fact, hit the subscribe button. We love and appreciate every one of you. Presented by Prize Picks. $100 match on your first deposit with the promo code. Welcome to Light Years. Andy Lou, we did it. We somehow bullshitted our way through an entire playoffs without the Warriors in it. And now is our time to shine. This is our playoffs, right?
Well, technically it's the Warriors. It's their playoffs too, right? Because technically they could start doing some stuff. So they could do something, which we know maybe they'll do. But you and I, GM Lou and GM Esfandiari, we definitely gonna do something. That's what we're gonna do tonight.
I'm about to cut this up, send it to Kirk, and say, how much you paying them? Come on. No. Yeah, man. It's like it was rough watching the playoffs, not having the Warriors in it. Just knowing, like, look, man, until we get to the offseason and they make moves, we can't really talk about how they move forward. So we're here now.
It was tough watching the playoffs too, because look, I am under no impression that the Warriors were better than any of these teams. They would have gotten smashed by Dallas. They would have gotten smashed by Boston. But I'm also watching these teams, and I don't know if I watched any great team. The Boston Celtics are awesome, but I'm talking about like a team that I think NBA history remembers 5 years from now and 10 years from now. I don't think that Boston team was it, which is not to say they're not deserving of a championship. I'm just saying that when I watch these teams, it's not something I'm thinking, man, the Warriors, they can't beat this Boston team. They can't beat them. It's which I think the point is to leading into today's show is, there are moves the Warriors can make that can put them somewhere close into that range. But my overarching take was just, congrats to the Celtics, but we won't remember them like we will remember, like, obviously the Warriors or or some of these other great teams, right? That have been in the past.
Everyone did it with Denver last year. I think we're in the age of parity. I think that's where we're at. I think talent at the NBA is an all-time high, but I'm not sure any of these teams are 2015 Warriors, 2000 Lakers, 90s Bulls, 80s Lakers, Celtics, where you're just like, man, they're just about to rip off, 5 finals appearances in 7 years or something like that. And I'm not saying that the Warriors are going to get back to the finals next year, but I'm looking around at the NBA and I'm going, look, there's hope. There's a little chance. There's a little chance you can get there. You still have a guy who's good enough to lead you there. So here we are. We're in the fun part. We're in the fun part of the off season. We get to be optimistic. We haven't had our hearts broken. And we'll see. And I just want to echo what you said. I'm happy Boston won. I like that Boston team.
Yes.
I'm not convinced they're going to be a team who wins like 3 or 4 championships, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see where they land with it. You know what I liked most about that Boston team? They kind of validated a lot of my overall beliefs about basketball.
Yeah.
They play 5 out. They're very skilled. They move the ball. It wasn't like they don't have a particularly dominant player. I mean, I know like Tatum and Brown can the ball can stick at times,
Tatum,
but
Tatum was chasing that MVP at the end, so yeah, he
should have got it in my opinion. But
wow,
but they play basketball that I feel like is in line with the Warriors and what Steve Kerr's been about.
Yep,
I could say the same thing about the Denver Nuggets last year.
Yep.
I think if you look overall, majority of the teams who've won in the last 10 years have played kind of space, move the ball, and have 1 to 2 guys who can get their own when everything breaks down.
Yeah, I think the only team that probably be a little bit different are the LeBron teams, but I think LeBron's a historical outlier, obviously. And they play great defense, and they had great shooting too. So, that stuff kind of does lend itself. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm happy Boston won. Enjoy the way that they play. I'm glad the Luka style doesn't work. I don't think he deserved to win a championship with the way that he was playing. Also, he has stuff to work on. I just don't understand that you have to fail at the highest level before you realize you got to work on some stuff, man. Like, no, LeBron failed at the highest level, had to work on some stuff. I guess Steph never really failed.
Baby.
Yeah, JJ. It's funny. It's funny that nobody talks about JJ Barea anymore, because that, I would say arguably that was a worse choke than what the Warriors did 3-1, but that's another story for another day. But I guess Steph didn't really fail at the highest level, but I mean, they lost the season after, right? So happens to everyone. Everybody's got to go through it. Not any different than Luka. So he'll be back, maybe not in the finals, but he'll be back.
Yeah, they'll be good,
I think.
All right. Without further ado,
let's go.
The topic of this episode's podcast, and we'll be taking live calls at the end. If you want to join in, hit the join button on the bottom of the screen. We'll take your call at the end. Topic is, what would you do, Andy? My number one favorite response I always get on social media when people are like, what would you do if you're the GM? I'm like, buddy, do you really want to know? Do you really want to know what I would do to fix this team? Do you really want to answer that question? No, we're getting some fun with it. Let's see what the Warriors can do. Look, man, 46 wins last year, 10 seed. West isn't getting any easier. Not good enough. I saw Fitz on the radio today talking about how if Draymond's not suspended, this team's right back in the mix. I'm skeptical that that's a thing. I think they need to make some moves based off of all interactions I see among the fan base. I think everyone agrees at minimum they need to make some level of move. We can disagree with what moves, but everyone agrees. So let's get to it. I want to start with Andy. Why don't you start? GM,
all right.
GM Andy Liu, the man had a shot to replace Bob Myers, but he said, no,
I'm good.
I got better things to do with my time.
I'm staying in tech sales. By the way, the people are definitely craving trades. I had a buddy, shout out to my guy Newt, yesterday, texted me and said, hey, what do you think about Ben Simmons? And that's when I knew, Samuel. That's when I knew. Yeah, the people want something, man. The fans, the Warriors got to do something. So
They've
with
been,
that,
and that's the other part of it is they've been conservative. You know what I'm saying? Like the Warriors they haven't done the Lakers like dumb Westbrook trade, but by doing nothing, they have the whole fan base thirsty for trades in the other direction, right?
correct.
So
Hey, by the way, you want to set up the Warriors payroll in this situation first before I go? Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
can do that. Okay.
of course, I got you. So the Warriors right now are try to pull it up. Depending on if they use Chris Paul or not,
Right.
they are under the tax. They have a lot of optionality. Our favorite word. So in theory, they could guarantee Chris Paul and be over the cap and make trades using Chris Paul to be over the cap and worry about signing Klay Thompson long term, or they could let Chris Paul expire, be under the tax if they let Looney go, and kind of open up the mid-level exception. They can go in either direction. The whole Chris Paul thing was sold as optionality. They got a lot of options the way they're moving this. The numbers you guys, usually it's around like the 29th or so.
Okay, it's not me, guys. Okay, I thought it was my Wi-Fi. Okay. Hey, hey Sam, can you hear me? We'll cut this out at the end. Oh, it's just me. You guys are stuck with just me. I could go. Oh, here he goes. Here he goes.
Let me know which part of that I got cut off at.
Okay, restart with when you were getting into the payroll. Just restart with that so we can cut out all of it, basically. Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay. We will
We'll have Tyler cut it. Or Tim.
I mean, I'm going to do it. But anyway,
okay. Sorry.
What I was going to say is, all right, the Warriors are at the Chris Paul contract gives them optionality in which direction they want to go. If they guarantee all of Chris Paul's contract because they have some desire to trade him and use him to go above the cap, they can. If they let him go, they can go under it. The numbers you need to consider, the salary cap's about 144. The luxury tax is 172. And the second apron, the line they will not go over, is around 190. All those numbers can go about $1 million to $2 million in either direction. The final numbers will not come out for at least 10 days. They usually come out sometime between the draft and the quote unquote start of free agency. So sometime like the 29th, 30th is when we expect the formal numbers. Usually the difference between the numbers I'm saying, which are the projections the league has put out at the trade deadline, and that is like a couple percent. It's a Guy Santos difference.
All right.
I'm going to pretend it doesn't matter right now.
Okay.
There you go. Those are the numbers.
Thank you. We needed that. I needed that. So they're at 174 now. You can go ahead and throw on the first trade. So here's my idea here, right? For the Warriors, there are two things that I'm looking at that they're going to need to get. One is they're going to need to get offense. Somebody that can actually handle and shoot the ball outside of Steph Curry. And number two, they're going to have to find a way to do that while not completely tanking their defense, right? Not completely making it impossible for them to play defense. And then just as a bonus, number three, if I could get rid of the young guys, let's keep it moving, because I don't want to do the dance with Steve Kerr again. If Steve Kerr's your head coach, do not give him the ability to ruin the development of young guys. Let those kids find greener pasture. So, okay, Sam, do you want to throw the first one up for me?
I got you.
All right. So I am with this trade, trading away Chris Paul. Obviously, we're using that contract. We're throwing in Kevon Looney. We're throwing in Usman Garuba for contract salary reasons. And then the one that people are going to hate me for. Yeah, not Usman. Great defender. I'm going I'm sending Kuminga out. And I think people are gonna go and say, hey, Zach LaVine, the Warriors should be the one that's actually taking more. I think that's where Caruso comes in. Before I get to my next trade, I think this scenario obviously gives the Warriors a shit ton of risk, meaning they're going to take back salary for years and years and years because LaVine's for 3 years. But you get that offense. We've talked about it ad nauseum. And then you bring back a guy that I think is probably going to be closing games more often than not, just because you're going to need him to play next to Stephen LaVine. So this is my first trade, Sam. I think Kuminga sweetens the deal and just gets it done. Look, if you need to throw a pick in there, great. But I think this trade is pretty risky, but it gives the Warriors offense and defense on both sides. And
couple thoughts. One, It's been rumored that the Bulls can't move LaVine, and it's projected they have to give up a pick or a prospect to get off of LaVine, which makes sense. LaVine is owed 3 years, 130 plus million. It goes 43, 47. It's a lot of money. He's making, if you thought Clay was overpaid this year, times it by 3. That's what LaVine's getting. Right there. So you're betting he stays healthy. LaVine is 28 years old.
Almost 30.
Maybe 29 now. Yeah. So you're getting him for his prime years. You're betting that you can keep him healthy. And you're betting that you can get him kind of back to the player he was in the Olympics 2 years ago, where him and Draymond and KD had like a love affair together.
Yeah.
Fit so well. Like, I mean, he's super talented. There's no talent's not the issue with him. Right.
And honestly, the best player in the trade might not be LaVine. That's my point is, when you say that the Chicago Bulls are going to have to give stuff up to get rid of LaVine, I think that's where the Caruso one comes into play, right? Because I think that's the one where they don't want to give Caruso up. And maybe they should have last season when they had a chance, but they don't want to give him up. And that's where I think they almost attach Caruso to the bad contract, get rid of LaVine's contract, get Chris Paul, who's going to be gone. But in the meantime,
saves them overall. If they get rid of
million plus.
Yeah, 100. This trade, just doing the math off the top of my head, saves them $120 million. Now they're going to want to extend Kuminga, but they're going to have to pay someone at some point, and he's 21. He's not. Caruso is 30 next season. So
this is the quintessential all-in, right? And I think that's where the deal probably gets done when the Warriors put in Kuminga. I mean, if it needs to be a late protected first, whatever. But I think that's where it's like, if you're Chicago, you're rebuilding, and you're getting rid of such a shit contract like that. And Caruso's great, but if you're a team like Chicago, you're not really trying to win and contend. Why do you need Caruso, right? Go get a guy that you can gamble on. And I think that's Kuminga. I don't think that's Moody. I just don't think they'd want to gamble on that less upside guy. So I'm saying, okay, I'm throwing Kuminga in that trade. You know how I feel about him.
So it's basically you save $100 million and you get a very good prospect. Not a can't miss prospect.
Right.
But a tier 2 prospect. That's who Kuminga is to most of the league. Just to be clear, tier 1's like Wembanyama, actually lower than Wembanyama.
I was going to say
Chet Holmgren. Paulo Banchero, guys who are young and have proven it. Tier 2 is guys like Kuminga, where you see it some nights, but you're not 100% positive if they're going to be that guy or they're going to be an inconsistent guy, that sort of thing. I think it's fair. That's risky though, because here's. Well, I'll let you continue your because I have the other part of it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I'm not done yet, right? Because this puts me at 178 million, and keep in mind I want to stay under 190. Once you trade Chris Paul, you gotta stay under that second apron, which is 190. So
you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice, no choice. So which brings up my second trade, which is obviously that is not going to end the offseason for me. Pick the name that I think the team, and in this case the Cavs, want to actually trade someone, right? I don't want to trade for a guy that the other team, like Mikal Bridges. I was like, well, I don't think the Nets want to trade Mikal Bridges, and I don't think the Warriors are going to get him. But Jared Allen, in this case, is the perfect, I think, player next to Draymond, especially in the regular season. Maybe you don't close with him in some games, but I just think he's a player that the Warriors need, man. You can't go into next season with Kevon Looney and TJD and another vet center. You just can't. And in this situation, I think the Cavs make the decision to say, we're going to go with Evan Mobley. We're going to roll with Evan Mobley as the main 5, and we're going to need wings, right? We're just going to need
They don't have them.
Karis LeVert. You like Karis LeVert? Is that your guy? Who's the other guy? Isaac Okoro. Is that your guy? So maybe you send Andrew Wiggins back to them. It's not a home run trade, but I think you put Jared Allen next to Draymond Green. Now you've got a somewhat of a rim protector. Also, if you've got a pretty decent scorer around guys, he's not going to want the ball or need the ball, right? You've got Levine for that. I just think you've got enough defense now with Caruso, Jared Allen, Draymond Green, and to supplement, I think, a much better offense where you still have Steph and Levine. And I have one more move coming. But again, this also puts the Warriors now at, because they saved, say, $6 million. They're at 172-ish million. Or sorry, 169-ish million now. I'm doing the math correctly.
In theory, they can generate a couple million if they waive Looney.
Yeah.
So maybe they're at 165.
Yeah, and then rework GP2, something like that, right? But what do you think about this one? What do you think about Jared Allen?
I like Jared Allen. I think my overarching issue is I'm looking at this team. So here's your closing lineup. Your closing lineup is Steph, Caruso, Levine, Draymond, and Jared Allen. Offensively, I think that's better than what the Warriors have rolled out for a few years. They got ball movers, they got shooters, they got rim roller. Like, we saw how good Trace was. Like, if you thought Trace next to Draymond was really good offense, like, Jared Allen's just a bigger Trace. I'm a little concerned that you have nobody who can guard Luka Doncic. You have nobody who can guard Jason Tatum. You have no one who can guard the bigger wings. Now, Caruso is phenomenal at guarding guards. Like, you need to guard John Morant, you got it done, But, like, who do you have who's guarding? Luka's the obvious name, but, like, LeBron, like, these bigger wing handlers.
Anthony Edwards is there, right?
Anthony maybe Caruso. It's close. Yeah. It's borderline there.
It's hard. I mean, trading Wiggins, this one was hard for me, and that's why I had to squeeze in Caruso in the other trade, just because trading Wiggins does give you, it downgrades the defense a lot. But from my perspective, though,
or at least the defensive upside, maybe not the reality we've seen the last year.
Not the last couple of years, but I was just like, hey man, like this does make it hard for the Warriors. The Warriors struggled so much with overhelping. And I just think overhelping the way that they did, it's a couple of things, right? It's one, they can't stay in front of everyone. And two, they just got nobody at the rim that'll just get a rebound or just hit someone or block a shot. And
no trust in their help, yeah.
Not at all. And maybe Jared Allen does that. That's my gamble. It's that Jared Allen does that enough that I think the Warriors stay home. They play a little better defensively on the perimeter because they know that they've got a big guy behind them. Look, Jared Allen isn't. He's not
prime Andrew Bogut.
and Andrew Bogut was great for the Warriors. He's not your guy, Rudy Gobert, even, right? But I think he can provide some of that ripple effect if you put Draymond and Jared Allen together. So this being said, I think I don't have a third trade, but I think this puts the Warriors at 172 mil. I think I rework GP2. I keep Moses Moody, so maybe that's one of your answers. But I rework GP2's contract, lower it a little bit, gets you to 169. You said the second tax apron is at 190. So that gives me 21 million. You give Clay the 21 million and just keep
you beg him. You beg him. You give him that third year.
Third year,
buddy. Wow. We made some moves.
Yep.
We might not give you as much in year one, but we'll get it to you in the back end. Year 3-4. That type of thing.
Yep. So here's the roster: Steph, Clay, Levine, Caruso, Jared Allen, Draymond, our guy Pods, and then GB2 Moody and TJD. That's where I'm rolling with, Sam. That's my team.
Second round. No, I see the vision. I know where the weakness is. The weakness is they're not versatile enough on the wings. They're very well set up to take advantage of teams who are lead ball handler heavy. They're not well positioned to take care of teams who got wing versatility to attack them. But you know what? Not a lot of teams do.
I would say you're relying heavily on, even Clay in that scenario, because you're asking me, like, on the wings, who's really on the wings for them? It would be Clay. It would be Moses Moody, right? You're also relying, mean, the guy's getting paid $45 million. Like, I am gambling on Zach LaVine. Like that's the move, right? He's super athletic. He can score offensively, but hey, is there something there defensively? Not the Andrew Wiggins. Is there something there defensively? All of a sudden, he's locking up Jason Tatum. More so is it there defensively where he can just be average and not absolutely awful, which is what he's been most of his career. So, I would be happy if that's a team that like. I think I would be all in on that team. I'm with you. It's probably upside 6-game series in the second round against Dallas or something, but it's something new. It's something fresh. Plus, I get to keep the core 3 guys. I can't let them go. So I can't.
Nice. All
right.
Why don't we do a quick ad read? Oh, that's right. I think mine's spicier. I think my trades are spicier than yours.
All right, let's go. Light Years Podcast. We're brought to you by Game Time. Game Time makes getting NBA Finals, or now that it's over, baseball, concerts, anything you want, even faster, even easier. Price on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the tip-off with killer last-minute deals. All-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. You've got priority last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last-minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Flash deals, save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or event. Zone deal, save even more when you choose a section like Game Time. Choose the seats. Use promo code LIGHTYEARS for $20 off your first purchase. You've also got the lowest price guarantee. If not, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. You got Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork of buying tickets with Game Time. Download Game Time app, create an account, use code LIGHTYEARS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LIGHTYEARS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. And now we're brought to you by Unified. Unified, whether you are a world-class athlete or a podcaster like me, we all understand the importance of mental and physical well-being and proper recovery for top-notch performance. Unified Healing is a new, super innovative global network of wellness centers powered by the Energy Enhancement System, or EE system. If you haven't heard, you'll want to listen up. This technology promotes wellness, deep relaxation, purification, and rejuvenation. Whether you're here in the Bay or hundreds of other locations across the globe, access to a center is easy and affordable. Interested in experiencing the EE system for yourself, go to unifiedhealing.com/lightyears to learn more. Find a center near you. That's UNIFYD healing.com/lightyears, LIGHTYARS. No material or testimonials on the Unified Healing website are intended to be viewed as medical advice or a sub for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen, including the EE system.
So I'm going a different direction than you.
All right.
I am looking at what if the Warriors go the other way? What if they use the flexibility that waiving Chris Paul gives them? That's where I'm at with this.
Wow.
So I'm going to start with my big trade. I think everything for the Warriors starts with a trade. We're going for Lowry Markkanen, people. So here's where I'm at with this. I think someone is going to pivot the opposite direction. Someone in the West or the East is going to be like, you know what? We don't have a shot. We're better off selling, getting a bunch of assets, and playing the OKC game and being better in 2 years. Too many competitive teams, too much of that. I have a sneaky suspicion it's the Utah Jazz. I could be wrong, but it's been rumored that they've looked at what people were willing to pay for Lowry. That stuff does not hit the papers if they aren't dangling a little bit. Danny Ainge is not loyal to anyone. They are like, what are the Utah Jazz if they give Lowry Markkanen a max? They don't. They're good enough to never get a difference maker in the draft, and not good enough to ever matter in the playoffs. Right? Like they're just sitting in the play-in at best.
Okay.
So my logic is they use Lowry to get a poo-poo platter of assets completely tank, go the opposite way. They're looking at the West. They're going, look, Wemby's going to make the Spurs better. The Grizz will be back. What are our viable options to even make the playoffs? Let's go the opposite way. Let's try to get Cooper Flag. Let's try to get the next Wemby. Let's try to be that team who gets like 2 to 3 of those pieces, and everyone's like, fuck the Jazz. Look at them in 2-3 years, right? Like you know what I'm saying? Like going that route, particularly since they got Lowry as a throw-in for Donovan Mitchell. It's not like he's groomed by them. And they might be looking at it from the standpoint of what if we sell high before he gets $50 million a year? So that's my logic.
I would love Lowry Markkinen. I do have questions about how good he is, but I love him. He's definitely better than the guys that I picked for sure, objectively. I think my thing would be, if you're given the premise that the Utah Jazz are going to trade him in this scenario, what would stop the Thunder from beating this into the Galaxy, right? Because they're the team that would. I don't think
they have more stuff.
The Thunder don't want Levine. The Thunder don't want Jared Allen, right? Which is why I picked those guys. But the Thunder want Lowry Markkinen, I think, right? They would love Lowry Markkinen. So why wouldn't they just do like 4 first?
So there's a lot of leaps of faith on my part. But here's my thought process. The Thunder have to pay Shea a supermax, Jalen Williams and Chet massive contracts. Do they really want another guy they're going to give 40 to 50 million to? Or do they want to go get an Aaron Gordon? Do they want to get Isaiah Hartenstein, where you can lock him in at like 20 to 25, and he's that glue guy that they need to finish everything? You're right. If the Thunder decide YOLO, we want Lowry Markkinen, the Warriors just don't have enough to outbid them. Like they could literally give you 20 picks and not feel it. Like that's a lot, you know. Like that's what I'm getting at. They have 30 some picks in the next 5 drafts. They have too many. Like they can give you good stuff. Yeah.
What if not just I picked the easy one, but what if it's like, where do you think the Warriors package here? Because I imagine this is the Warriors' best package. And by the way, I think the Warriors would have to give another first and probably drop 2 protections.
Oh, so I disagree with you here. So let me walk through the package. The package is Kuminga and Moody and 2 firsts.
Top 10 protected.
Yeah, we can play with those protections. That's just my – so one, the Warriors picks are going to be attractive because you're betting against Steph's aging. 2, I'm not convinced they're going to get the superstar package for him when he's 1 year remaining on his contract and you have to pay him Kevin Durant money next year. And the real bet is you think he is that level of star, because I could see a lot of teams going, I like him at 18. I don't know if I like him at 50. You know what I'm saying? So that's my gamble. My gamble is the Warriors are going all in on a guy that not everyone is 100% convinced is the guy.
So you're zagging on the Lowry market, which I think most people feel is going to be really strong. You don't think that's actually going to be the case, is what you're getting at?
I think he's a hell of a player. He's going to be 27 next year, which is prime age for a player. But you have to pay him the following year. And usually when a guy's 1 year away from free agency and you have to pay him, you don't get top dollar for a guy who can walk.
Where does the Warriors trade package here rank in the larger NBA?
Second tier. I think it can be beat by a bunch of teams. Like, I just think the reality is if the Thunder want someone, they can outbid people. They just have to make a decision that they want to.
Yeah.
I think they have the best potential package just because they have so many picks under their control. You know, like they're like the guy at the poker table who has 10x the role you do. Like, they control the table. If they don't want to play a hand, it's because they don't want to play a hand. It's not because you went all in, you know? Like, if they want to beat this, they do. But I don't know. Does he really seem like what the Thunder need? I think the Thunder need the Thunder need a defensive-minded player more than anything.
I think that's true. I think there's a lot of teams out there that would want Lowry that probably give better. Like I'm thinking of Philly, who are in love with Paul George. I can see them getting in the mix.
Yeah,
there.
but they don't have better picks than the Warriors, and they don't have better unless they're going to trade Tyrese Maxey, which they're not.
Yeah,
They don't have better prospects than the Warriors. So,
well,
I mean, yeah, if they put Embiid on the table, they have a better situation. But like that's not the point, right?
Then it's like, are the Warriors realistically both things, right? Are the Warriors going to put these picks on the table versus, in my case, are they actually going to want Levine? Which probably no.
Well,
in this case, they're going to have to. They're going to have to get those. Like, what if it was two top one or top two protected
or not protected
first round pick or not protected?
Full gamble. Sure,
right.
Yeah, that even makes it more attractive. I put top 10 just because I was being selfish.
Would the Warriors
forget the protections?
Would that be the best? I think you. I mean, you might be onto something. I don't know if I can argue against it, but you look down the list of if Lowry's on the market, it just feels to me like what's New
and
York?
Let me tell
what's
you,
New York? What's the Knicks got? Right? It feels like they've got a better package.
Let me tell you why I think Lowry is the guy that's worth mortgaging your future for. He's 27 years old, so when this last pick conveys, he's 30. So you're not giving up picks when Lauri Markkanen is 34, 35. You're giving up picks when he's in his prime. The number of guys 7 feet tall, actually not even 7, 6'10" and above who shoot like him, statistically, there's only 2. Kevin Durant and Dirk Nowitzki. That's it. He's a better shooter than Kristaps Porzingis. The number of guys who can put up 20 plus points per game while shooting 40% from 3 on volume and give you 8 to 10 rebounds a game and like positionally be a big, it's just Dirk and KD. That's it. Like, I think he's underrated talent-wise. I think more importantly, I think he's one of those guys who, if you put him on the Warriors, he's better than who he is. It's like one of those things where you put him next to Draymond, now you can play 5 out while still having size. Like, you're still going to rebound. Yeah, he's not a great rim protector, but I promise you, you can figure out a defense with him next to Draymond more so than a lot of the things you put out there the last couple of years.
I don't think I'm arguing the value of Lowry to this team. For me, it's more so can they actually beat it? Because Lowry's more valuable on the market than anything that I put, which is why I think mines are somewhat more realistic, but also the fact that the Warriors won't do it. This I think it's going to work. Objectively, it's going to work.
This is me going all in and praying no one can top
exactly. Lowry's going to work on the Warriors. Nobody needs to, like, I have to sell you on Levine working on the Warriors, or Jared Allen will work, but at a lesser scale. But Lowry's going to work. It'll be a home run. The problem is, right, like you're saying, what if Jaime Jaquez is on the table? I think that beats this. Jaime Jaquez is better than Kuminga. Right, I'm just looking at names.
I don't know, man. They weren't willing to put stuff on the table for Dame Lillard.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so maybe Miami.
I think this is a pretty generous package for Lauri Markkanen, and if it doesn't get it done, it doesn't get it done. So, a couple things to call out. So the Warriors would be giving up Kuminga and Moody plus 2 picks. That's a lot. That's a lot to give up for Lauri Markkanen.
Can we throw in a third just to be sure that this gets done?
Stop it. What I was gonna say is it also saves the Warriors about $4 million next year, which it doesn't really matter. They're gonna end up having to give Lauri Markkanen a max at the end of this deal. But if you think about it, the cost of keeping Kuminga and Moody after next year is going to be the same as the cost of signing Lauri Markkanen. Like, you're not saving money, you know? So there's that going into it. Saving a couple million there. You waive Looney and bring him back on a veteran minimum with the $3 million guaranteed. That saves you another $4 to $5 million. You know what that does, Andy? That means you can give Clay 20-ish million, 22 to 24 million, and still have a full mid-level exception. And here's where my argument is. I say you waive Chris Paul. I say you get the full mid-level. And shout out our guy Danny LaRue. You go get someone like DeAnthony Melton. You go get someone like DeAnthony Melton to replace GP2 as that point of attack defender, that guy who can lock up other teams' guards, Only, unlike GP2, he can hit a shot. Melton's a damn good player. So my dream scenario for the Warriors is they go Steph. They got Melton next to him, who's only 6'2", but he's got like 6'10", 7-foot wingspan. He also gets like 5 steals a game and shoots 38% from three. Then the part that breaks my heart, but you have to keep as you gamble on Wiggins, figuring it out, because he's playing in a system where he's got Steph and Lauri Markkanen carrying the offense, and he gets to just kind of play off of them. But then you got your wing stopper. So you got 2 3-and-D guys next to Steph and Lowry, and then you got Draymond there at the 5. You're playing 5 out. You got multiple guys who could shoot it. If it all comes together, that's unguardable, and that's a championship team. But it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of buts. That's a lot of praying that Kuminga and Picks and Moody gets it done for Lauri Markkanen. So finally, I would keep Clay, because you let Chris Paul go, so you got a little extra money, and Clay comes off the bench with Pods and Trace, and that's your 8-man rotation. It's got enough athleticism. I think it has enough size, honestly. I really do. But it's pie in the sky dreaming. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, the Lowry one's the one I'm stuck on. So Clay, we both have the same thing on Clay. We both did 2 separate transactions. It's just mine were 2 trades. Yours is the Mountain one. So the Mountain one, I think, is the easiest one. That one's money. It's one of my favorite players in the NBA. The only pushback I'll give on that is the $12 million a year going to be different from what he gets on the market? Maybe. Do you think he gets more?
He's from California. He's from California.
Which part of California?
An LA guy. Come on.
I was gonna say, is he? Because I NorCal. I would have known. I feel like. So is he?
He's not from the city. He's not from Vallejo.
I was gonna say, because if Mountain was from NorCal, I would have known that. He's young. I think he's like 25.
He's 26. He's going to be. Yeah, no, exactly. Red age.
But it's just, is he going to get more on the market? He was hurt last year. I remember that. But when he's healthy, man, he's freaking awesome. Like when he's healthy, he's a $20 million a year player, especially in today's NBA. 20 plus million.
It's the Bruce Brown, GP2.
Yes.
Better shooter than both those guys.
Yeah. Bruce Brown, I think, is the. I mean, like
maybe not as good at the rim because it just doesn't get as. But yeah, the point is exactly what you want is like the glue piece to finish a lineup.
But if I were DeAnthony Melton and I'm thinking this is my prime years, I'm trying to get and if you can't get 20 million out there, then maybe 12 million with the Warriors is what. Maybe only for 1 year.
I'm saying this being a guy who's just reads the internet and talks to our guy Daniel LaRue. I think full mid-level, like what Dante DiVincenzo got last year, which was 4 years, $52 million. Given he missed most of last year and given he's a little undersized, I don't know that he's going to get more than that. I don't. You always for every Dante signing that deal, someone just gives Bruce Brown a big contract just because they got the cap space, just because they got,
That's what
so it's a lot of hoping things fall into your lap.
I think let's kind of end the 2 moves this way. I think of it as if your moves are possible, they're A+. If they're going to be done, I don't think there's a way that will fail. The team, how good they're going to be, better than the team I'm going to put together. But I think realistically, I know the Warriors can get the trades done realistically. It's just a matter of do the Warriors actually want to pull the trigger? I don't actually think they do. If the Warriors have a chance to pull the trigger for that Lowry trade and Danny, and they're on the phone with Danny, and Danny says he wants that trade, the Warriors are doing that trade, right? There's no chance in hell they're not doing that trade, is what I'm trying to say. If the Warriors are on the phone with Chicago, that trade, that's probably in the Warriors' hands to say, we want to pull the trigger on that trade, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right, because they're the one. It's like when you go to dinner, the person who's willing to pay the bill, they get to make the decision on if you're ordering dessert or not. It's that simple. It's that simple. And with that Bulls trade, it's about if Joe wants to order. It's about if Joe wants to pay. It's
a lot of dessert. It's a lot. That bottom of the line is fucking expensive. That is, and I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but that is an expensive bottle of wine.
The Lowry Markkanen trade, it's more the Warriors trying to wine and dine you and talk you into how like you need to sign up for the SaaS product. You know, like that's like really what it comes down to.
I'm paying. It's on the corporate card. It's everything's on there. The D'Anthony Mountain one, I love that. I didn't even think about. I know I totally forgot that Danny brought it up. But if the Warriors find a way, and you pivoted by going off of the CP3 thing, which I think will it even be likely? Is that even likely that the Warriors do that? I think it is, that they just don't do anything with that thing, with that CP3 thing.
Well, I think that's why Lowry Markkanen, like, we need to see how the Utah thing plays out, because to me that's option number one. Because he makes so little money, it opens up some doors. It opens up the possibility of Adam Melton. You know, you get Zach LaVine, you don't have a mid-level exception. You don't have the money to, you know, so that's where I'm kind of like, and you know, look, man, free agency hasn't started. This is good mood, Sam, pure copium. Pure copium takes.
Yeah. God, I love it. Yeah, I'd love to, when this comes out, I'd love to read the comments to see what people think. And whatever we do, I think I have a feeling that the Warriors have, like, where would you rank their number one is Lowry. I think their number one is Lowry. I think after that, I have no idea. Like, I don't think LaVine's on that list. I don't think Ingram's on that list. Chat is giving me DeJounte Murray. I don't think DeJounte Murray's on. Like,
I don't think DeJounte's on the list. I think DeJounte,
yeah,
because he's got a reasonable contract.
How long is the list? 5, 3?
Depends.
Yeah.
I think
the list is LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Paul George, and then Lowry. Like, that's the list. That's the 4, right? Maybe Lowry over PG, but after that, who knows?
It's worth noting that there's been a lot of discussions between them in Chicago, them in Atlanta. Like, those teams, it makes sense for them to have conversations because they're trying to go in different directions. So yeah. I don't know.
No cap. If they do nothing this summer, it's on them. I have talked to numerous cap guys this summer. Each have said the Warriors are in a good spot if they want to make moves. I agree.
Yeah, the Chris Paul, look, man, they traded Jordan Poole for an expiring contract that they can use or they can't use. They talked all year about optionality. Okay, got optionality. Make it happen.
Yep. I can't wait.
I got a couple callers to get on. We got Abdullah bring up here.
All right, let's go.
So summer, we waited all year for this optionality, brother.
Hey guys.
Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. I got to say, I was a high school history teacher for 8 years, and listening to Sam teach Andy about the 7 continents was peak comedy for me. That was like absolutely. Like,
I wish that was on the pod.
My students in the classroom be like, Mr. Isaac, what are the 7 continents again?
What are the 7 continents again? It is Antarctica and Australia. Those are the ones I didn't know. For those that missed the beginning of the show, but now I know. Thank you.
Anyways, I love both of you guys' trade ideas. My only nitpick with each one is Andy. I was all on the Zach LaVine boat, but I was listening to the Simmons podcast last week, and did you know he has a 15% trade kicker?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
But that's for Joey. That's Joey.
Enjoy, Joe.
I was like, oh,
enjoy.
Shit, if he does not waive that, 43 was a tough pill to swallow. 50 might be too much.
Oh, 50. Round it up. Let's go.
Oh, shit. But, and then, Sam, I love everything about your trade proposal, except for the fact that we keep Wiggins on the team, and I cannot watch that man play in the Warriors universe.
If you know,
season.
Look, I know you've listened. You know that was hard for me. That was hard for me. I'm just sitting here. I'm going like, I don't see I'm already living in a fantasy land. I don't see another option here.
Yep. All right. Continuing down the fantasy land train. My thought process was like, let me try something different. Let me take it even further than where you were saying in terms of optionality. What if we waive the Chris Paul contract? Don't guarantee it. We cut money with Looney. And then what if we do a total salary dump and open up a ton of cap space and try to be players in the free agent market? Because Detroit I look, they got like $80 million. Nobody wants to take Detroit's money. And we've already done a couple deals with Detroit. What if we call Detroit and we say, hey, you can take Wiggins and let's free Moody. And like we just try to clear up some salary cap space. So we get rid of GP2, Looney, Moody, Wiggins. They give us like some second round picks or whatever. I know it's a lot, but like then we have over $40 million in cap space. And in that scenario, I'm just curious whether it would make sense to maybe try to go after a Malik Monk or a KCP. Try to get one of those guys around 25, $27 million. You don't need Wiggins if you can get KCP. If you want to go defense oriented, then you still have some money to play with. You can try to go get like a Valanciunas if you want a center who can actually space the floor, or you go Kyle Anderson, someone else. I feel like Draymond was dropping a lot of Kyle Anderson hints in the playoffs of how much he wants to play
Anderson, like Kyle Anderson does need to be a Warrior before he retires. That is a Steve Kerr player. That is an elite traffic cop. Like
yeah, so my thought process is like get a Monk, get a KCP, one of those guys if you can grab them. You have around 15 million to play with to maybe get somebody who's like a mid-tier free agent like an Anderson or a Valanciunas, and then you still have that mid-level exception that you were talking about. You could get a Melton, you could get a Najee Marshall, you could get a Nicholas Batum with something like that. And try to get Clay to come back.
They'd have to unload a lot of salary to do that. Though.
It's yeah.
CP3
somehow
load Wiggins and like. And
well, that was the thing is I think that they're like if you look
they'd
at
also
the
have
teams
to let go of they'd have to rescind Clay's rights to clear up cap space, which means then they couldn't re-sign him. So
they can't re-sign him with the bird rights if they do it that way, where they sign
his
him
bird
after doing this.
So if you have his bird rights, it automatically holds cap space. It's as if you're giving him that money. So I love the idea, but it's way too hard for them to get into like Philly territory. Yeah, it's not going to happen
unless LeBron says I'm coming for 50 mil. If LeBron says I'm coming for 50 mil, then they'll do it, right? But
if LeBron wants to come, they'll just do a sign and trade and send the Lakers a couple assets.
Whatever happens, whatever. But they're not going to do it for some some guys.
No, that makes sense. I was just trying to think of like who could we get to replace Wiggins, and KCP seems like the perfect dude, but I don't see that guy through a trade that's like available.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, it's that's why I was just like, anyway. Abdul, appreciate you, my man.
Yeah, appreciate.
It's all right. Anyway,
the options are good for them if they want to make trades. They have a lot of ammunition. They have salaries. Like they can make moves.
I also think there's gonna be a lot of good players available for the mid-level because cash is tight. Like a lot of guys will. I do think you can get Melton for that. I do think you can get Obi Toppin for that. I think you get Jonas Valanciunas for that. Like that type of player. All right, Ebony, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Yo.
You know, enjoying my evening. What you got for us?
So there was a lot of talk about Bruce Brown. I think it was, I don't know, I was probably listening to some random person, but they were talking about how like he has no use on the Raptors. Like there's no point in him being there. If the Warriors were to look in the direction of the Raptors, who else would you want from that team? I mean, not Quickly or RJ Barrett because they're guards, and honestly, wouldn't make sense. Steve doesn't need other options for 3 guard lineups.
Probably Pirtle would be like a safe option for them. $20 million, good big Jared Allen type of player, basically.
Okay. So
I think Pirtle. I think Pirtle is. I'm looking at their roster right now. I think Pirtle actually, because they're not going to trade RJ Barrett. They're not. I don't want that. I don't want that.
No.
I'm a little intrigued.
Oh my! Come on.
RJ Barrett.
I liked what I saw at the end of the year there. I like when he took it to Kuminga and Wiggins. I was like, all right, he's got a little dog in him, which is more than I can say for those two. But sorry, that game was on my like low like very pissed off moments. Looking at the rest of the roster, Kelly Olynyk, wouldn't mind a little Kelly Olynyk. Wouldn't hurt.
Good Warriors player. Yeah.
I mean, like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, but
Sure.
I don't think now.
I mean, they don't have a lot of players under contract. That's the thing. So I think it is like Bruce Brown. Would you do Wiggins for Bruce Brown?
Ooh.
You're giving up
I just
size,
don't
but you're
see
getting
why
more
the-
dog.
I just don't see why the Raptors would do it.
Canadian.
Yeah,
Like-
you're just praying they have some sort of loyalty to Canada.
Exactly. And because like Wiggins he's not like a teammate guy. He's not like a good vet for a locker room. And they're trying to build around Scotty. So it doesn't make sense from their perspective. But if you're the Warriors, heck yeah. Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, I'd probably do it just because he's available. He had some.
He shows up to work.
He's probably good with better players. That's who Bruce Brown is, right? He's just going to be a lot better with better guys around him.
So
Pirtle's an interesting one too.
So here's my other question, right? Switch gears a little bit. So if you're going with Brandon Ingram, right? If you're looking at the Pels, what else do you want around him? Because honestly, like defensively, he's not really gonna help the Warriors, I don't think. So if you're looking at the Pels roster, what else do you want from them? Or their money situation in general.
Okay, if the Warriors were to get Brandon Ingram, you have to have an athletic perimeter player who can fit the offense next to him and Steph. They need
Martel?
Yeah, exactly. They need like a GP2 type. They need someone who can get up into guys and be that athletic point of attack defender. I also think you want a front court player who can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're getting that from the Pelicans, but I'm just like Ingram. He's big, he's long, he's very skilled with the ball. He's not going to be a super athletic defender, and he's probably not going to be a floor spacer in general. So you need guys who can do those two things to make it work.
And then last thing, I don't want Levine if I can't have Caruso. I'm just saying.
I think that's what the Warriors are saying too. I think the Warriors, there's no chance that they're
because like,
Caruso.
what's the point of picking up that nasty contract
Yep.
and the dude is injured half the time, more than half the time. He's been injured 75% of the last like 3 seasons. So like, why should we take that and not get something for it?
You know what's funny is Caruso's injured too all the time, which I think is hilarious.
But I think this is
so good.
Terrible, but I think Caruso gets injured because he's on bad teams.
You think it's one of those? You think it's one of the?
Yeah, but
I think to be clear, I think that's true for both of them. I think there's a lot of fuck, man. Why am I going to put my body on the line for this?
Kobe White's going to shoot it 30 times again. I think I'm good tonight.
At the same time, though,
Stay in the corner
feel like
of DeRozan dribbles. Yeah.
They get injured by their own teammates. Like that's what's wrong with the Bulls. But I don't know. My last question is like, my biggest fear with any of these trades is losing Jonathan Kuminga's athleticism. Like, of all the people that have been listed, right, outside of maybe Bruce Brown, who's also like under 6'5", I think. Like, who are the athletes after
Pods.
that?
I actually.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's a joke. I think it's a fair concern. Like, but can they make it up in the aggregate based on these trades?
But I'm not concerned because I don't care about athleticism if athleticism doesn't translate to winning. And I think Levine's scoring will translate in a good situation. I think Caruso's defense translates. I think Lowry's obviously shooting lifts all boats for this team. I think same goes for Jared Allen, not athletic, but it's going to be a good big man defender. Like my vision in that trade is more so about just letting Kuminga grow somewhere else. And I'm not really worried about what he ends up into, but that's the type of stuff where I think people get fired for.
That makes me sad. If it's possible, I think everyone else on the table but JK. And I know where y'all stand on that, but I'm just saying.
The Warriors might agree with you.
I just don't know. So I mean, I'm going to end it here.
Mhm.
I like JK. I don't know what position he plays, and that's a problem.
Fair.
Until he can hit a jump shot with consistency, I don't know. I don't know what position he plays for this team. And
for this team.
No, actually, for any team, honestly. Who's looking for a 3-man who can't shoot but also isn't a ball handler? Like what team?
Yeah.
What team needs a 3 who can't shoot?
He just needs to be
Boston. I'm just playing, but
they got two of those. They got 2 of those. It worked out.
Dude, if he could shoot like Jaylen Brown, I would say don't touch him. Period.
I was gonna say, let's just go get Jaylen Brown and call it a day.
Oh
we're
God.
We're talking too much at
that
this
dude
point.
Can shoot, man. I'm telling you, he can.
Are you saying Jaylen Brown can shoot?
Yes. Jaylen Brown's taken 7 threes a game, and he hits like 37% of them.
Yeah, but
can you imagine if Kuminga shot it like that? What would he shoot?
Hear me out. Does Jaylen Brown shoot that well if they played good teams in the East before they got to the finals?
This is how we're gonna
I'm just saying, like, if they played like up to game 6 or 7 in any of the previous series,
if he's left wide open, does he hit a shot?
Yeah, that's my question.
If Jonathan Kuminga is left wide open, what happens?
That's my point. He's gonna pass it, or he's gonna try to do some weird dribble thing.
I don't need Kuminga to be Klay Thompson because that'll never happen, and that's an unrealistic ask of anyone other than Steph Curry. I need him to be able to hit an open shot the way Andrew Wiggins or Pods hits an open shot. And
who's
then
Andrew Wiggins? I'm just kidding.
I mean, yes, that's a fair. That's appreciate you, Emily. Have a great evening.
One of the remaining Kuminga believers, at least. I
don't disbelieve in him, but I just think it's like
he's working on his handle on IG though.
Bro, I hate IG highlights.
Can we move on to the next caller?
I hate IG highlights so much. They don't do anything for anyone.
Next caller before I fucking.
I got Gio up here real quick. Like what is it?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey,
what's up, Gio?
Good. Yeah. So like my question is right, like they need to keep Klay Thompson, right? Because like I don't see a scenario where he leaves and this team is somehow better, like unless like they get like Paul George or something like that. But he needs to they need to figure out like just to keep him on this team before the 30 years and whatnot. That's amazing. And 2 is like right. Like, do you think they know what they want to do the next like few months? Like, is there a plan? Like do they know what's what they want from this team next season? Like, is there like do you think there's a plan for next year?
Of course, there's a plan.
What plan?
But is the plan like get better or like I don't know like move from money move money away like that TBC walk like
we'll see.
We'll see in like 14 days maybe.
I think Gio is right that the team, and which is why Sam and I did the same thing. Is we allocated 20 to 24 million each, sent that over to Klay, and go and
that's it. That's it, bro.
That's it because they're not going to be better without him. They're not. The real question is, if he does come back, is he asking for a role that he should not be playing? And if he is, then they might not be better. If he's saying I need to play 35 minutes and I need to start and close games, they might not actually be better. But if he's willing to say, right.
But the thing is, right, like if they're gonna be bad, like why take less money? Like if we have like an actual plan, like why am I like sacrificing money?
What is that? What is a plan? Like but like they can only get better if he's on a.
That's true, but like, can you actually tell him that? Can you actually show him?
You want us to show him to show? Look,
have they put the flow chart in front of Klay?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like,
20 mil for Klay, 30 mil right here for a new player. Yeah, I don't know. Here's where I'm at with the Clay stuff. I just want to say this, Gio, and I'm not trying to be a dick. I think this is all show, the social stuff.
I think so too. But yeah.
I'm not convinced he's after every last dollar. I just think he wants to see what's out there and weigh his options. So yeah, I think if the Warriors are like, we're gonna go get Obi Toppin and run it back, he's gonna be like, pay me. If it's a matter of Clay taking a couple million less to open up the option to acquire a player who can change the landscape, I think he's game. That's just me guessing on the matter. I think it's other than that, I think he's just having some fun with the fucking unfollowing bullshit.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
He's like
I can't stand
65 years old. Like that's so like passive aggressive. Like I don't know, man.
I can't do it.
Have a good one, Gio.
Between Klay Thompson and Brandon Ayuk, Sam, I can't do it.
Bro, he can't even.
Appreciate you, no cap.
Did you see the clips of Clay? Like he can't even hold a straight face. Like he doesn't like.
Did you see the Ayuk one? Did you see that one?
That's even they can't hold.
Exactly. He's laughing the entire time. They don't want me back, and he's just giggling. Like, bro, just. Do you remember when Aaron Judge played the Giants and he's talking about he was? You know what I mean? It's all fake.
I don't think it works anymore either.
No,
that's my other like maybe 5 years ago, and someone did like, ooh,
yeah,
means something. Now it's like it's
the playbook is written, right? Everybody.
Show me something off script. I need something off script to buy it as real. You know.
Ooh, what do you think Clay should do? What do you think? You think he should do maybe he does like a Ryan Garcia? Maybe he just goes off the fucking deep end. Maybe he just starts acting insane. Although
like if Clay was wearing a Laker jersey with his dad, would that affect you in any way?
I mean, that's good. That's really good. I mean,
or would you just be like funny, you know? Like,
good though.
I'm trying to think of like what he could do because like unfollowing doesn't move me. I'm just sitting here. I'm just going, bro. You just go back to refollow. Stop.
You know what Clay would have to do? He would have to get Draymond and Steph in the game. He would have to get them to start playing along, which Steph and Draymond wouldn't do. But he'd have to go on Draymond's pod and go like,
yeah, he'd have to get Steph. He'd have to get Steph posting about I'm gonna miss my brother.
Right. And that's when, I mean, that's really the key, right? It is Steph.
Yeah,
the key is Steph.
Okay. I got you. Because then you and I would be like, oh, it's really happening. It's real. It's not fake. Luke, what's up, man?
You look good.
Mate, you guys look fed up as fuck. That's what I love about this. This is great. I love how triggered you blokes are getting. This is outstanding. Because
I'm in a great mood. What are you talking about?
To be brutally honest, that finals was boring as batshit. The whole playoffs was absolutely dog shit, if I'm being honest. But and I just can't believe people are out there actually thinking we can just run this whole thing back and be okay with it. Like I saw your tweet earlier.
Internal development, buddy. One more. Oh my God. One more off season.
And again, all due respect to the people that called or in the chat, but like, why are we talking about if Kuminga could hit a fifth fucking jump shot? Like, really? Is that where we're at? Really? Like, we've got maybe, 1 to 2 years left? We just saw the Dallas Mavericks, the pure hoopers, right? Make the fucking NBA Finals, the greatest backcourt in history. Oh, you got to have hoopers to win, Sam and Andy. You got to have hoopers. You got to have hoopers, man. That's where
we got one right here. You see Pods posting last night?
Yeah.
Looking like my guy Luka.
Oh my God! Like again, I love Luka. I think he's a great player, but fuck, I can't believe people have started to catch on that. Like, yeah, maybe he doesn't fucking try on defense, and people are going to target him. Again, all credit to Boston. I thought Boston. You boys were right. I thought Boston would win the title before the playoffs started because there was fucking no one else to get him because no one else really made a move. Dallas made a move. Credit to them, like you guys said. But it was never going to be enough because they don't have the fucking, they don't have people that care about the fundamentals yet. And I think your two, I came in a bit late, but your two trades you guys said, the Lauri Markkanen one, it's a no fucking brainer because A, the casuals don't appreciate him. So what's going to happen is he's going to join the Warriors and he'll fucking hit 50% from forever. Go, where did this guy come from? Who does he play for? And it's going to be like, oh yeah, he's not a hooper though, so it's all right. And then he'll brain it, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
why are we going after these big dick guys that look good in bloody fucking backcourts? Like, let's go after, like you said, size, shooting, rebounding, all that, and then you give 20 million to Clay. And I'm with you boys too. Like, I'm with you boys too. Like the whole the Clay thing. That's just all bullshit and fucking hearsay anyway. You know what I mean? Like, we all know he's going to do. He's going to sit down and go, you know what? Why do I want to go somewhere else and ruin what I had and ruin how I'm going to remember?
He can't even hold a straight face, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so bad at playing this game. Like he's not a poker player. You know, we all got friends who are like, I don't want to play poker against him. I can't read him at all. Clay's the opposite, hard on sleeve type of guy.
Just leave the PR spin to fucking Fitz like this morning, like that tweet you put up. Well, leave it to him. He can cook and talk about how the kids are going to be great and the Warrior. And if Draymond played 10 more games, we would have got the fifth set. Well, guess what? You know what? I'll bring up the Dua Lipa thing again. Guess what? It's never going to happen though, is it? Like, fuck. Like, Draymond's going to miss games. That's who Draymond is. Like, don't act like he's going to play every game. Like, it is what it is. But, mate, I really hope there's people in the front office that are as smart as you two, because fuck, if they don't really look hard at that fucking marketing one, their heads are fucked, like dead set. I think it's a no-brainer. I don't know about you two, but I think it's an absolute no-brainer. Steph should be picking up the phone, fucking doing everything he can. But mate, if anything's to go by this year with this year's playoffs, is what has it told you? If we make one or two moves, seriously, how can they not compete in the West next year? Honestly,
yeah.
Like, all credit to Dallas. They rolled the dice. They made the trades. I get it. But, mate, like, seriously, it was the fucking Dallas Mavericks. Like, come on. Let's be real here.
I agree. Now, win a championship, different story. But that's what I said.
But at least
get there.
Like the old saying, Andy, you got to be in it to win it, right? They've got two more years probably of Steph being this elite guy. Imagine if you just had someone like a Lauri Markkanen sitting in the corner holding his dick, just going, give me the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're talking about if Wiggins was sitting there open in the corner, yeah, guess what? But he's fucking not. Like, like what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's anyway. I'm getting triggered like you guys now. You guys are better men than I am. I can only do this for 10 minutes. I got to fucking go. But
Luca, appreciate
happy
you.
Father's Day, you both, and get better, and we'll hopefully got more positive news next couple of weeks. So
we'll be live over the next couple of weeks. We're either going to be in a great mood or a miserable mood, or both.
Both. We'll be both. We always are both.
I say we end it there.
All right.
We'll end it there. Everyone, let us know what you think of the trades. We are out.
Talk soon.